This is Ndtv, and you're watching Classics.
Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta, and on perhaps the coldest day in Delhi in many years, my guest needs no introduction, Rahul Dravid.
Hi,
And
Shekhar.
Rahul, welcome to Walk the Talk. But
Thanks,
before we talk about other things, let me tell you one little factoid. In nearly 200 episodes of Walk the Talk, you are only the second guest to be repeated.
That's great.
And you know who the first one was?
No,
Mr. Advani.
so that makes me in very good company. So I'm
Well-
honored. I'm honored.
What it also tells us is that cricket is something that we take seriously only next to politics.
Sometimes I think too seriously.
Politics or cricket?
Well, cricket I think. Politics we must take seriously. Probably we don't take that too seriously enough.
Why do you say we take cricket too seriously?
Well, I mean, when I say that, I mean that I just, the emotions and the passions involved in the game are so much that I think we tend to forget sometimes that it's just a game, and we tend to forget that winning and losing is part of the game, and as long as your team or your country's team tries its best, it's a sport, and people should enjoy it for the sport that it is, and there are good performances on both sides. Both teams come there to play cricket, and they play good cricket, and sometimes I think people take the thing too personally. Sometimes I think winning and losing of an Indian cricket team, I feel people almost feel that it's a personal insult to them if the team loses, and it's the same way. I mean, when we win, they get so excited and they're so happy that I think sometimes it can get a bit too much.
I like particularly what your coach Greg Chappell said the other day. I think he was talking to an Australian paper, and he said working with these guys is like escorting the Beatles. He said you go to the airport from the city, there are 50,000 people lining the streets. It's wonderful.
It is. I must say that it's a privilege to play for India. It's an honor. I think sometimes I look around and I see how lucky I am to be lucky enough to play this game and to play it well enough to able to represent my country for the time I have. I think the Indian fans are the best fans in the world. There's no doubt about it. The kind of reception we get, they're demanding. There's no doubt about it. They're demanding.
And they're unforgiving.
And they are unforgiving, but they're also some of the best fans in the world. And I think you must realize that the Indian fan today is running world cricket, and make no mistake about that.
Well, that's why this is the richest cricket, not team in the world in the sense of players, but this is the richest part of the cricketing world right now, isn't it?
It is. I think it's where the finance of world cricket is I wouldn't say coming from completely, but definitely a major part of the world cricket today is being run by Indian companies, and part of that is also the result of our economy and the growth that we've seen over the last 10-15 years, and just the success that is India. I mean, a success that is India is being reflected in the cricketing world as well.
But Rahul, something else. You said Indian crowds are tough, they are demanding, but being booed by your own people, a stadium full of your own people, the way you were in Calcutta. And I remember before that, I remember speaking to Sunil Gavaskar once many years back in 1983. I think the last time until now that an Indian team played an international match in Srinagar, and the team was booed and the crowd supported the West Indies. And in fact, Sunil Gavaskar once mentioned to me that was the fastest he had seen anybody bowl, Malcolm Marshall bowling in Srinagar. The combined effect, how does it work on your mind? I know that many players who went to Srinagar then came back scarred from that experience.
To be very honest,
To have an Indian crowd take a position against you from the moment the first ball is bowled.
No, I think to be honest, Shekhar, I'm not the first Indian captain that has been booed in an Indian ground, and I won't be the last. I mean, I have played under 4 or 5 captains, and I've seen all of them at various times in various grounds.
This was for non-cricketing reasons.
Yes, some of the things I think that the boys. I mean, I was lucky probably not to field on the boundary line, but some of the things that the boys heard at the boundary line and some of the abuse that they were given was not nice. But having said that, we didn't play well as well on the day. I mean, it was a day when we were totally beaten by a good South African team. We were outclassed. People were upset. There were a variety of reasons for why they were upset. Some of it was legitimate, some of it was not. I mean, there's no point getting into that. Right. But I think as an international sportsman, you've got to sometimes accept these things. They're not always an ideal situation. They're not always, you come back from it not always feeling very nice about it. But you understand it. I think you can rationalize it. I mean, people are upset. You haven't played well as a team. People are emotional. So, I mean, and like I said, Shekhar, I'm not going to be the last. I know that. I mean, I know that. Like I said, people are demanding, and they're also, very loving as well. So,
Shall I give you Kapil Dev's sort of regional theory of Indian cricket? He says, if you look at the West, all talent, very little hard work. Kapil's theory. If you look at the South, a lot of talent, a lot of hard work. If you look at the North, some talent, loads of hard work. And he says, if you get it all together somehow, go to the East, go to Calcutta and perform, because you get 100% adulation. To get abused in Calcutta then must be particularly galling, isn't it? Because Calcutta has, you've had one of your great appearances for India in Calcutta.
I've always done really well in Calcutta. I love playing in Calcutta. I mean, the experience of playing with Lakshman that day.
Right.
I mean, 6 months before I went there for the last game, I'd got 100 in each innings to win a game against Pakistan.
Right.
To win a Test match, for India against Pakistan and score 100 in each innings is very special. I love playing in the Eden Gardens. It's a great venue. It's it's a great place to play cricket, and that will never change. I mean, I'm going to love going back and playing in that venue.
So unlike Sunil Gavaskar, you are not blackballing the venue. You are going back.
No, I'm not definitely not going to black.
Angry or upset.
No, but like I said, that even Sunil Gavaskar, like you said, was given a tough time in Calcutta. So I'm in good company, Shekhar. I'm very good company. I'd love to be in the company of Gavaskar.
Now, talking about Pakistan, Rahul, what do you take to Pakistan? What have you learned? What memories of the last tour do you take to Pakistan now? What lessons, what memories?
I take back some very fond memories, both on and off the field. I think, on the field we won a series abroad, first team to win a series in Pakistan. Personally, it was a good series for me in both the one days and the tests. Just meeting people, making friends outside the cricket field. I have some very good memories of that trip. I think the couple of months that we spent there was really enjoyable. It was a very different time that we went last time. We hadn't been there for 13, 14 years, and it was a bit of apprehension. But we really had a lovely time
Were
there.
you surprised by the way the team did?
I was not very surprised because, to be honest, we had just come back from a very good tour of Australia. So we were playing some good cricket.
But we had heard the same talk then as we hear now. Oh, Shoaib Akhtar, how will they deal with him? Sami, Akhtar, Canaria, home pitches, home advantage.
You will hear these things all the time,
Exactly.
Shekhar. These things, like I said, the talk before a series has not changed in the 9 years that I have been playing this game. Every time we go somewhere, the talk is the same. Every time another team comes here, it's the same. How will they deal with the spin? How will they deal with our spinners? So, pre-match and pre-series talk has never changed. Probably never will.